Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Lance here, and bringing you guys another video to talk with you about your workouts, because believe it or not, your workouts might be actually keeping you from getting the dream life and the dream body that you desire. I know that sounds crazy, but I promise you, not all workouts are created equal. And the fact is that some of the things that you might be doing might be something that is actually in spite of your actual goals. There's a lot of things that I would call busy work that you can do within exercise that maybe burns calories or works your body but doesn't really move the needle in the direction that you're trying to go. And what happens is you're looking for some sort of result that you believe is going to come from the actions that you're doing, but because unfortunately you're doing more things that are busy work rather than needle moving work, you end up unfortunately getting burned out or feeling like you don't really get the point of this. This is where people oftentimes tell me, like, I just never really liked working out, didn't connect with me, and I tried it and I never got the runner's high, I never got the this high or whatever. I didn't feel all the, the great hormones that tell you that this is fun. I didn't get it. Well, sometimes, a lot of time, well, let me just say this. Most often, when people feel this way and feel like I just don't connect with it, it's not something that really I get into, a lot of times this really does come back to, number one, I'm doing things that kind of exhaust me but don't really cause me to feel better about myself, and that makes me feel like I'm wasting my time. The other thing that happens is you're forcing yourself to do things that aren't fun, that don't really connect with you, and you don't really know why you're doing it. So if you're doing lunges and you don't really understand that that's going to cause, the leg striations to look better when you're wearing, a dress that's a little bit shorter, or for you guys, to be able to wear a pair of shorts, in the summertime, and to not worry that somebody's going to call you out for never, being involved in leg day. These are the sort of things that when you understand what said movement is doing for you aesthetically so that you can have more confidence, you're going to start finding that the things you used to dread are things that you look forward to. Because that's me personally. When I first started my fitness journey all these years ago, 22 and a half years ago, I was not interested in the slightest in fitness. And when I started working out, I didn't really get anything out of that. I just was making myself go through the motions because I had assigned so much concern and emotional value to getting in shape and to building muscle. I equivocated those things to be the very things for me that would be my aid for confidence, that would be my aid for liking what I saw in the mirror. So I pushed myself doing things that today I probably wouldn't recommend somebody doing. And what I mean by that is not specifics of your exercise, but these are things that I made myself do things that I didn't enjoy. I made myself do things that I really didn't understand why I was doing it. And one of the big things that I can tell you is, if you don't know the why behind the what of what you're doing, it's going to feel at times, especially if you're not seeing the data that tells you that it's working, it's gonna feel at times like, what's the point? There's no point in this. And what I'm telling you here is that you're focusing on some of the wrong things. And by getting these things into alignment, it's going to help you to see better results, which therefore reinforces your new habits. But here's the thing. Practice doesn't make perfect. Perfect practice makes perfect. So what I want to do is give you a couple things to help you focus on in your workouts instead of some of the things that you may be focused on now. What's the point? Point is, it's going to help you to focus on things that maybe take a little bit less energy out of you, but produce more results than some of the things that you're doing. So rather than focusing on increasing your weight, and rather than focusing on making sure you're doing a 60 or a 90-minute workout, or focusing on some sort of crazy, outrageous intensity you're trying to maintain, I want you to focus on a couple of other things that are going to be a better aid or tool for you that don't lead to burnout nearly as much, but also will lead to better results, and better results leads to more confidence. More confidence with what you're doing is going to reaffirm that all of these new things you're doing, sacrificing time to work out, sacrificing, maybe that extra slice of pizza to have a little bit less, those sort of things, your brain, your mind needs to feel that those things are worth it. And if you're not getting results, That is why you are falling off of this proverbial wagon, because your mind is telling you that the results you're getting, or the lack thereof, is not worth the effort you're expending. So we are talking about how to get better results so that you can make sure you're moving the needle and you're not burning yourself out. A couple things to focus on is, number one, being busy doesn't mean moving the needle on your goals, okay? And what I mean by that is what I said earlier. You might be focusing on things that are hurting your shoulders, or they're tying you up, or they're things that just really aren't enjoyable. For example, if you hate running, keep your butt off the treadmill. I don't like running. I'm not going to run. And guess what? I keep myself in shape doing the things that I like. I like doing the upright bike. I like doing the elliptical, things that don't irritate my knees. If I force myself to do a dang treadmill when I freaking hate it, I'm giving myself another barrier to entry that prevents me from following through with my goals. Okay, can I get an amen? All right, next thing is, it's so much less about the perfect new exercise or how much weight to use, and it's so much more about the connection and contraction using full range of motion through the strength curve. Now that might sound like foreign material to you, but what I mean is, rather than just like lifting weight and moving things around, what we teach is to focus on the mind and body connection. And that's not some sort of weird woohoo, esoteric thing. What that means is that you're understanding the purpose. That, for example, on the biceps, there are two heads of the biceps, and I know if I pull my arm in, it works this one. If I pull my arm out, it works this. So if somebody is struggling with feeling like their biceps aren't thick, or feeling like they can't fill out their shirts, they need to understand the difference between where their hands go on doing a bicep curl. Now again, this is not just like bro science type stuff. This is understanding that to get what I want that makes me feel better about myself, I can use science to prevent me from doing things that hurt my joints, that don't bring results, and that will eventually burn me out. This is why we focus on the connection. The connection means isolating the muscle so that we're not using momentum, which is an outside force from muscle, and making sure that we're not using other muscle groups, such as like if you've ever seen somebody doing like a curl and they're using their back, they're using their core, their legs to get this thing up. This is what we call something, well, this is dangerous, but this here is an individual that is recruiting so many muscle groups when they're really just trying to grow this one, or to make this one respond to the stimuli that they're giving it. The problem is that, are the biceps working? Yes. But are they really working as much as they need to be? Absolutely not. So what's happening is that this person's curling like crazy through their forearms, so their forearms are lighting up. They're curling their wrist, so their wrist has problems with it. Their hands are hurting, and they're possibly, using all of this muscle and some torque on their spine to get the weight up. Now, this individual is working very, very hard. They're expending a lot of energy and effort, but I assure you that what this person is doing will never get them the physique that they want. In fact, this person works like a dog every time in the gym, goes in there, lifts, and leaves it all on the table. I mean, gives it everything that they have, or maybe on the cardio, or maybe whatever. And this person is not seeing the needle moving in the right direction. It is because this individual is expending so much energy and efforts on something that is not aligned with their goals and purpose. And no matter how hard you struggle doing a curl where you're doing a back bend to do it, it's not going to give you the result that you're after. You can't just will yourself into making this thing magically producing the results, because it's not the right thing to get the results you want. This is why it's important to not just be told to do a curl or to be told to do something, but to understand the why behind the what. And that's what we do in our program, Master Your Body Confidence University. It's called a university because of the fact that it is educating you on the why behind the what. We believe that this is the reason that most people get temporary makeovers instead of permanent transformations. They're being told what to do, but they don't understand why they're doing it. So therefore, when they stop doing whatever program, stop working with a trainer, stop following that diet, they don't understand how to maintain or keep the right things going to keep that body or the confidence that they want. So by focusing on these things here, we begin to move the needle in a direction that goes, hey, holy crap, this is making my body change. And guess what? I feel accomplished by the workouts, but I feel so confident because I'm looking at my body looking like what brings me confidence. That happens when we're practicing the correct form, understanding why we're doing what we're doing. What that means is when you graduate my program, rather than going, oh man, now I'm without Lance and Lauren, what do I do? Instead, you're going, man, I've learned all of this stuff. I am so ecstatic that I don't have to ever reach out to somebody again because I've learned how to become my own fitness coach, but without spending 8 years in college and trying to go through this stuff and studying and becoming a major gym rat. I just simply know how to keep myself in shape. And that to me is security. It's peace of mind. It's confidence. And it allows me to focus on the areas of my life that bring me fulfillment because I'm not stuck worrying about how so-and-so sees me or how they think about me because I love what I see in the mirror. And that means that when I work on my business, I can focus on that without feeling lacking confidence. And whenever I'm, out doing this thing or whatever, it's going to be something that I'm bringing my all to it because I'm not bringing my insecurities to that event. And these are the things that our clients get, and I want you to have that. So the last thing that I want to make sure that you get is that what truly matters here is that you see results, and these results are what's going to keep you pushing for more, and it's going to prevent you going back to the old habits that won't lead you to your dream life. And so science of this matters. All workouts are not just going to lead you to the ultimate path that you want to be. The fact is that there are a bazillion just types of curls, and each of those are going to do something different. But more than anything is when you're doing things and you're focusing on just going through the motions and banging things out instead of understanding what the purpose is, you're going to start ending up with injuries, ailments. You're going to end, I guess, the hardest thing is you're going to end up in a place you don't want to be, which is my body changed, but it didn't do what I thought it would be. I put in all this effort for what? And this is what I see happening where people are in the gym after 6-7 years and their bodies don't change. Maybe they lost 15 pounds. Maybe they feel better than what they would and they prevented themselves from going worse, maybe. But how awful to be working out that long, 5 or 6 years, and to hit such a plateau. The thing I want to leave you with is that plateaus do not exist. If you understand biomechanics and the biochemistry and the metabolism, plateaus don't exist. There is not one client that ever hits a plateau with us. And the reason is because plateaus, if you truly understand what they are, they're simply sticking points. Those sticking points means that something else mathematically or scientifically needs to be adjusted slightly. If it's within your nutrition, we adjust your calories. If it's within your biomechanics, we start eliminating other muscle groups that are preventing you from getting the results you want. But there is no such thing as a plateau unless you don't really understand the why behind the what. I want to be able to give you that. I want to give you the why behind the what so that this is the last thing that you ever do. So I want to offer you to be able to take my free quiz. My quiz is going to help you to determine which things to focus on. It's my fitness alignment quiz. Only takes 90 seconds to do. And if you go to lancecronecoaching.com/quiz, you can take that. It takes about 90 seconds, and it's going to give you your fitness alignment strategy to help you be in alignment with a permanent solution for a transformation that lasts forever. And that's what we're looking for. So be sure to click the link, and thank you guys so much for joining. I hope that this has been helpful for you to be able to focus on what matters and to not lose sight of the things that might be distracting you or taking you away from your goals, but still taking your energy. And those are when we don't really understand why we're doing what we're doing. So if you feel like this has been helpful or valuable, be sure to put #value in the comments below. Let me know if you have any questions based on this. If